The call came a week after the funeral. Late. Too late for anything good. Her voice was steady. Too steady. "I've made my decision," she said. A pause. Not hesitation, calculation. "We're done. I want a divorce." Just like that. No tremor, no grief, only the quiet rustle of new money behind every word. I looked around the dim kitchen, the chair she used to sit in, the mug she never washed, the echo of a life I'd been naive enough to think meant something. My fingers tightened around the phone. "Why now?" I asked. She exhaled, bored. "Because you're useless to me now." The words slid in cold, slicing something that had taken years to build. And then she laughed softly, as if I'd been a temporary inconvenience, not a husband. I didn't reply. I just listened to the silence she left behind. A strange calm settled over me, thin, sharp, almost metallic. Then I whispered to no one, "Don't regret this later." I knew she wouldn't understand the lull. It wasn't humor. It was a warning wrapped in something too quiet to notice. She hung up, and in that empty click, something inside me finally woke up. Something patient, something observant, something she had mistaken for too long as weakness. The divorce papers arrived with the efficiency of a woman suddenly wealthy. Express delivery, bold signature, zero hesitation. But that wasn't what caught me. It was the timing. Her father's will hadn't even been read publicly yet. No formal announcement, no confirmation of inheritance numbers. Yet she already knew. Too much. And she wanted out too fast. I replayed the last few months in my mind. The secretive smiles, the late-night texts she claimed were grief counseling, the way she had cried at the funeral, loudly, theatrically, while her mother kept glancing at her with something closer to fear than sorrow. There had been warnings, quiet ones I'd dismissed because love is a blinding thing. I remembered her father pulling me aside once, eyes heavy, wanting to say something he never managed, a truth he carried to the grave. I didn't know what it was then, but her sudden confidence in demanding divorce, her certainty that she no longer needed me, it all pointed towards something hidden, something she thought I was too stupid to ever reach. She had always underestimated me. That was her first mistake. I started small, phone bills, bank statements, her old laptop she assumed I never touched. Patterns emerged. Late-night calls to a number saved under a woman's name, transfers to an unlisted account, deleted emails she thought were gone forever. Then I found the message thread. Short, coded, but enough. Once he's out of the picture, the money is ours. Not mine, ours. And the date? 3 months before her father died. My pulse didn't rise. My breathing didn't shift. Inside, there was only stillness. A stillness that let me notice details I had ignored. Her father's sudden moving of assets, his quiet arguments with her mother, his reluctance to meet with her alone. Pieces falling. I dug deeper. The will, the draft versions, the revisions. She didn't know I had a copy of an earlier version, the version where I was named executor, not her. But the final will had been changed, suspiciously recently. And then, buried in a chain of legal emails, a clause, one line. One that invalidated the inheritance entirely if she divorced before the estate's full review period. She hadn't read it. Of course she hadn't. Entitlement blinds brighter than love ever could. I leaned back in my chair and exhaled. There it was, the truth. And a quiet smile formed. Not joy, not triumph, just inevitability. The lawyer scheduled a meeting. She arrived in designer clothes she hadn't earned, wearing confidence like cheap perfume. Her mother hovered behind her, already anxious. The lawyer greeted me with a nod. Then he looked at her with something between amusement and pity. "Have you read the will carefully?" he asked. Her smirk faltered. "What do you mean? I'm the sole heir." He slid the document across the table. His tone was dry, almost clinical. "This clause here, paragraph 14. If you divorce your spouse before the estate's mandatory review period, the inheritance is frozen. Permanently. The color drained from her face. I watched it happen slowly, deliciously slowly. Her throat bobbed. "You're joking." "No," he said, barely holding back a laugh. "Your father insisted on this. He trusted your husband more than anyone else here." She turned to me, and in her eyes panic bloomed like rot. I leaned forward slightly. Calm, detached. "You said I was useless to you now," I reminded her, "so this shouldn't matter." Her lips trembled. "Please, I didn't mean—" I raised a hand, silencing her. "No need to explain. You made your choice." The lawyer chuckled under his breath. Her mother closed her eyes, already defeated. I stood, adjusting my coat with deliberate slowness. "You wanted freedom," I said quietly. "Now you have it." I walked past her. She reached for me. I didn't stop. Her voice cracked behind me. "Please, don't leave." I didn't look back. Her consequences were hers alone. Outside, the air felt colder, cleaner. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel angry. I felt free. She would spend the rest of her life remembering the moment she realized what she'd thrown away. Not me, not love, but the safety her father knew only I could give her. I walked to the edge of the parking lot, stopped, breathed, and let the last thread of her slip from my mind. Some betrayals deserve silence. Mine was absolute. I never looked back again.